It's getting warm and this kale does not like the warm weather. So it is time to harvest. And I'm going to show you some things that you can do with kale for those of you who aren't kale lovers. It's so highly nutritious. It's something that you're going to want in your life. My basket is overflowing. What are you going to do with all that kale? I'll show you. If your kale gets a little limp, you can just do an ice water bath and it will plump it right back up. Plus, it's a great way to go ahead and get it clean. Go ahead and put down a paper towel and then just take your cleaned kale and spread it out. You can either just leave it out and let it dry, or go ahead and take some more paper towels and pat it dry. If you're gonna freeze it, I would recommend that you go ahead and chop it and get rid of the bigger stems so that you don't have that rubbery texture. I don't know, this is the part with all of the health benefits. I'm still gonna let it air dry for just a little bit. I'm gonna take it off of the wet paper towel and then just spread it out. It's a cooling rack just to give that some airflow. I'm gonna go ahead and put one more for good measure. Take as much air out of that bag as you can. So just to let you know, kale is really high in vitamin C. It has vitamin K, and vitamin K is very important for us to be able to process vitamin D. It's good for your eyes, your heart, and it's rich in antioxidants as well. This bag's going in the freezer, right beside the green beans. I make delicious smoothies with kale, and if you put the kale in first, and just say that you're using some coconut water, which is a great pairing with kale, and you blend that up before you put anything else in there, then it will get all of the little bits. And remember, I'm talking to people that don't really enjoy kale, so I'm trying to help make it more palatable. So try it and make your smoothie by putting it in first, and then put in a banana, put in some fruit. That fruit will help to mask it. One of my favorite combinations is with pineapple, and then adding some delicious protein powder that has a little bit of a healthy sweetener, such as Sun Warrior protein powder, and also Dr. Mercola's Vanilla Vegan is amazing. Delicious, purely delicious. So right now what I'm doing is I am going to make some kale granola, or we can call it kale chips. It is something that is so delicious to eat alone. You can snack on it alone, or you can add it to your favorite smoothie bowl, granola bowl, when you put some fruit in the bowl, and then you throw some yogurt in there and some granola on top, or top your chia bowls with it. Delicious, and adding more nutrients. That's what it's all about. Especially for the kale chips, we want to make sure that the center is not a part of that. And before I add the ingredients for the kale chips, I am going to dehydrate these for just about 30 minutes. That way we can make sure that a lot of the moisture has been pulled out and give it a better start, because I want my granola to be very crunchy. I think that's good, and what I'm gonna do with the rest of the kale is I'm actually going to have a salad for lunch. My oven has a bread-proof option, which gets the oven at 100 degrees. That can keep your food raw, considered raw. I'm gonna put some parchment paper on here, spread my kale out, and pop it in the oven. And then a quick little salad today. I'm gonna get my olive oil and I'll be right back. Today I'm going to use garlic. As all of you know, I absolutely love palmetto olive oil because I know that their olive oils have a high polyphenol count, and that is what we want, max polyphenols, doing something amazing for our bodies. So like, we just keep storing up these nutrients right in this one salad, as you see as we go. So I'm gonna massage that for just a minute. And then by the time we get all of our other ingredients on here, it's gonna be good to go. I am going to add some sliced almonds. I have some dried blueberries. Those are so good. I have some goat cheese, which is probably my favorite. Just crumble that on. Put some sprouts on the side here, just because they're amazing. And last but not least, a little bit of celery. Nice and crispy. Look at that. Smells so good. I first dehydrated the kale at 100 degrees for about 45 minutes. I just wanted to pull a little bit of that moisture out of there because I wanted to make sure that this turned out very crunchy. I then made this delicious sauce, and oh my goodness, you could just eat this by the spoonfuls. It kind of reminds me of Nutella. I guess that's the brand. This has water and agave cacao, had 2 tablespoons of cacao, had a teaspoon of vanilla, and a pinch of salt. After I blended the sauce together, I then put it on the kale and I massaged it so that it would cover everything. And then I added 3/4 cup of sprouted buckwheat berries, and they're just really crispy in the way that they have sprouted them. They're good to go. And so they just have a nice little layer, adding another texture and another nutritional profile. Those flavors work so well together and the textures work so well together. Just something else that you can do with kale. I then went on to bake the kale at 200 degrees for 45 minutes, and then I turned it, made sure that all of that was moved around, and then I baked it for another 45 minutes. You just want to check and make sure that it's really crunchy, and then I let the oven, I just turned the oven off to let it cool down, left it in the oven for another 20 minutes, and then just sat it on the counter until it cooled completely. Then you have some nice crunchy granola that you can put on your chia bowls or on your smoothie bowls. Delicious. I also threw some kale in a soup that I made. All kinds of things that you can do with kale. Great way to bump up your nutrients. Those dark greens are so good for you, like we had talked about before. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you would please comment, let me know what you're doing with your kale. Do you have some delicious recipes that you would like to share with us? I would love to hear. And if you would like and subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I come out with something new. Thank you so much.